You've just stepped into She Said What She Said,
where the tea is hot and the shade is real.
and we always say it with our chest.
Hey, girl, hey.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to this brand new week's episode, because today we're going to be dragging ourselves, but in a lovely way.
Yes. We used to call it being just detail-oriented, or we were just caring too much. But we have been spiraling in silence for years.
Facts. I know I have. So if you ever lost sleep over a text message,
Always.
replay the conversation that was said to you in 2009.
From 2009.
Or spent 3 hours.
Jinx.
Listen, spent 3 hours planning your response to a simple LOL. This episode is for you, baby.
Yes, this is our life in a nutshell. But let's be honest.
Absolutely.
Overthinking is exhausting. I don't know why we do it to ourselves. It's like we're living 10 steps ahead, always. From the time we open our eyes to the time we go to bed.
It's very draining.
Yes, it's not even real.
Very draining.
Yes.
But the bad part about it, I feel like, is you're stuck in the past. Not the present, not the future, but the past. Overanalyzing every little word you may have said, they may have said, like you're on a trial. But just being a person.
I know. We're so hard on ourselves. I hate that.
It's sad.
It's like, I don't know about you, but like if I send a text message, I'm just like, oh my God, did that sound too aggressive? Or did my K reply, which I hate doing, but if I do, sometimes I am being petty. It is a little harsh. And I do sound a little mad.
Listen, I'm always questioning if I sound aggressive, not even because I may say it one way in my head, but it may not be portrayed that way on phone. But not even that, because if you're texting somebody that has an iPhone, luckily you can edit your text message really quick. But if it's somebody who's an Android, you're screwed. You're screwed.
Yeah. Say, I'm sorry.
You can't edit the message.
No.
I don't want to double text. So
you talk to a lot of people with Android?
Yeah,
I try not to.
That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. Because that's a whole nother conversation we need to have. But anyways, overthinking is not about just being thoughtful. It's about being anxiously disguised as a perfectionist, which I've been told multiple times, or just trying to do the right thing. Simple.
I mean, to us it is, but to them it's not. I think that our anxiety and people-pleasing skills comes from trauma. We always grew up in survival modes. Always waiting for the other shoe to drop, the anticipation of, oh, you're going to piss somebody off. Or that's just an example, did I not unload the dishwasher quick enough so I don't get yelled at? Or did I say something snarky because, it's so stupid. Moving on.
And not even that, like, let's talk about how the anxiety lies and loves to tell us. Things like, if I think about it enough, I'll avoid the pain. If I don't say the right thing, they'll end up leaving. If I mess up everything at once, I'll ruin everything. Toxic. And I am learning that from experience, because there was a lot of things that I would say are better left unsaid, and then I didn't say them, and it ended up putting me in a worse position than what I was if I should have said something. That's the thing. That's my struggle. And sometimes I don't think things should be said, and they should. I feel like if you're able to express yourself and say what you need to say, and the other person is receptive to it, there shouldn't be any issues. But if they're not receptive and open to having that conversation, here lies the problem. And then that's when the overthinking happens and the spiraling happens.
Unfortunately, I know somebody who you tell them you're upset about something, and they, trying to be politically correct, they get upset because you're trying to be open and honest, and they don't want to hear what you have to say. You're attacking them.
And that's tragic. It's very tragic, because I unfortunately grew up that way. And it's like, it was very hard to express yourself. So now, as a 36-year-old woman, I have a hard time expressing myself because of my trauma in the past. So a lot of shit I don't say because I'm afraid of how somebody is going to react. So then I start spiraling and overthinking, because am I wrong for feeling the way that I feel? Am I wrong for not expressing myself? It's like it's a topsy-turvy. Like I'm very torn a lot of times.
I think that's oldest daughter syndrome and recovering from people pleasing. That's exactly what that is.
It's harsh reality, actually, as well, too. It sucks. It sucks ass, okay?
We are going to get there, I promise.
One day at a time.
So hopefully, like everyone who's listening to us always being, dramatic, we understand. That's why we talk about this. you know, like these
Absolutely.
conversations. I don't want people to be like, oh, you're just giving us unsolicited advice. No, we're doing it too.
No,
You
because
know?
we absolutely, everything that we talk about, we have lived in it or are living in
Yes.
it. Not only that, we think that
Yeah.
overthinking sometimes does protect us. It actually steals our peace and our confidence and time. It's a thief with a good PR.
Who's not getting paid?
Absolutely.
But I think the T is overthinking doesn't keep bad things from happening. It just keeps the good things from unfolding, which is
And like
wild.
you can say that again for the people in the back, because for me, like I said, sometimes I, in the past, realized that not expressing myself was better than expressing myself. And now I feel like if I can say what I need to say and you're receptive, like I said, we shouldn't have any problems.
Exactly.
But if you don't play the woe is me and the victim card, then we'll have some problems. Because I should be able to say how I feel with no problems.
No, you should be able to. That's the fucking crazy part. I don't understand why people are so defensive. I mean, obviously, it might just be the things that they've had to deal with, but
and that might be their trauma as well. That's something that they have to work through.
I need to work a little bit quicker. That's all I gotta say. We're running out of time on this wonderful planet. Just saying. I don't know about you, but I feel like I always talk myself out of good opportunities. I just honestly just talked myself out of doing a job interview like a week and a half ago because, toxic.
Well,
I like the toxicity.
I feel like the whole transition from my jobs, I talked myself out of leaving one job to then be in a toxic situation for 4 months to now be in another situation where I'm not happy as well. And it's like, I don't want to keep starting over. Like, there's already stuff that adds to that: insurance, pay. Like, there's so many benefits and so many factors that factor into that where I don't want to keep starting over. But then it's like, Marissa, stop overthinking it. Maybe you had one bad day that's throwing you off. Or
I agree with that.
Is it multiple bad days that just keep happening over and over and over again? And that's a sign saying that this is your out. You need to get out. Like, I never could gauge between that. Like, am I just settling? Or am I overreacting? Or is this shit really real? Like, is this really happening?
I don't know if I would say that you're settling. I think you're trying to do better, right? Unfortunately, you just didn't have all the puzzle pieces to know the truth about things, which then you would have overthunk about that, but it's okay.
And I feel like this is maybe off subject, but what is up with these jobs lately that are feeding us lies? Like, they're telling you one thing, putting one thing on the internet, leading you to believe that this is what your base pay is going to be. This is what your coverage is. This is what is that. And then you get into the job and find out all of that shit was a lie. So pretty much you just got me in the door and tried to keep me when it's a possibility you're not going to. Make that make sense. Why would you just tell the truth from the beginning?
I think because we are in a job market right now where no one wants to work still for some reason, and they're desperate for people, desperate to have a body in the building.
But they're going about it, to me, they're going about it the wrong way, because then you have the people that do want to work that are getting screwed in the long haul.
Deceitful as hell is what that is.
It's wrong as hell. Very wrong. Because like I said, you're putting online that the maximum pay is this, that, and the third. But then when people are coming up for their 90-day review, you're not even giving them the max.
No.
So make that make sense.
I don't know, honey. We could talk about these toxic ass jobs all day.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And
I don't know what the rules are.
I don't either. And I'm getting to that point of, like I said, the overthinking aspect of it, because it's a lot of what ifs. What if I wouldn't have did this? What if I would have taken the other job? What if I wouldn't have quit this job? This, that, and the third. Yes, I am protecting my peace, but I feel like in all actuality, my thought process is I did not make the best decision. And now I'm overthinking the process because I did take a pay cut. I am now starting over, waiting 90 days for benefits. I am told that I'm going to be making this, and the third, and I'm not. Do I pick up a second job? Oh, I'm enjoying my time off because I have the hours that I like. Like, what the fuck? Spiraling.
Yes, you're going to drive yourself nuts.
Absolutely spiraling. Huh?
I said you're going to drive yourself nuts is what you're going to do.
I'm trying not to. Like I said, I love the hours and I'm really trying to enjoy this time. But the hours are not adequating for the pay.
Well, we hustle. That's what we do.
They're not intertwining. The butterfly is not flying, okay? Like, it's it's rough. It's rough. And like I said, now his sports and stuff and all his school activities are picking up. And I'm like, can you get a job? Because
No, he's too young.
it's just me. It's just me, bruh.
It's okay. You just need to go be someone's sugar baby. Who don't want no sugar.
Listen, for all of our listeners out there, if anyone's hiring for that, I am available.
Yes. And she's an active person who gets her feet done. She'll send you feet pics too.
Definitely, faithfully.
I
Feet
so
and nails,
signed you
okay?
up for some shit. But do you ever, because you're in the middle of a spiral right now, do you ever just pause and say, this is anxiety, not fact? Because I feel like maybe you could work on that. We both could work on that.
I
'cause
do.
we're
And
fucking crazy.
I will say I have gotten better because old Marissa would probably crash the fuck out. But
Yeah.
now in this new day and age, I am learning to cope with things better than what I have in the past. So now when I feel like, okay, I have a bad day, maybe it was just today. And then usually it is just that day. Or it's my anxiety kicking in. And then the next day, and the next day, everything's
Yeah.
fine. Or with the whole aspect of, do I pick up a second job or do I enjoy my time that I'm right now? Completely honest, honestly, I am enjoying my time over wanting to work because now I get to be a part of the football practices, the football games, the school projects, school supply shopping, clothes shopping. Like
Well, this is
before
time you
when I
can't
was
get
working
back.
2 jobs,
Yeah.
exactly. And now that he's getting older, this is the time that I need. Because when he was younger, I was always at work from sun up to sundown. Now we get to spend more time together. We get to go out and do stuff. We get to have our days. He gets to have his days. And he gets to be able to do a lot more because I am
Yeah.
more available versus before he'd have to figure it out pretty much.
I mean, you'll find a good balance, I think. It's just going to take a little
With
bit.
media, eventually, like I said, it's just right now, not even in this moment. That was my thought. That was my thought process. Now, even today, like I said, I am not at the point where, like today, I have the day off. Do I want to go work? Absolutely not. Am I
No.
about to go hit these streets with my child? Absolutely. Because I'm going to be able to cherish those memories that I'm making with him to be able to go out and do those things day after day after day after and not be like, oh, well, you only get 4 hours of my time today because I have to go do this and that third. No, we're not doing
I mean, I understand. And I'm sure he appreciates hanging out with you.
that. My little bro best friend. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I just think Marissa and Jessica, or Shalissa and Gina, our alter egos, we're just going to give ourselves permission to rest and to not have to solve everything at that moment. It's okay.
Absolutely. Because at the end of the day, I say that overthinking can overpower your life to the point of where you're not thinking correctly or you're letting it consume you for what?
For a headache.
What's the real
and
reason?
Heart palpitations. Yeah, we don't need that. We don't need
Lack
that,
of
that
sleep.
stress.
Like
Yes.
we all need our beauty rest. Why are we losing sleep? Overthinking
Ugh.
something that doesn't need to
Say
be
that.
overthought.
That's
So I
what
feel
they
like we
say.
need to be a little bit more practical with our thinking, people, and do maybe a checklist or planning as far as for what are some things that we can do to unlearn overthinking.
No, I agree. I think talking to somebody, though, and letting all of our feelings out is important, kind of like what we're doing right now. And then I feel like sometimes when you're having conversations with people, you realize that the stories that in your head are not as heavy as they really are. You know, you just got to talk
Absolutely.
your feelings out. Yeah.
And not only that, and there was a point in time where I was really objective to seeing a therapist and
Yeah.
going to talk to somebody about whatever. And I feel like it actually is very beneficial because you're talking to somebody from the outside looking in and you can vent and talk about all your frustrations and they don't know you from jump. They only know you based off of what you've told them. So
Yeah.
A, it could be a good thing for some people. B, it could be a bad thing for some people because some people are not open and are not receptive to taking
Yeah.
that constructive criticism. Or you have the person who is willing to take it all in and make themselves a better person. So I am an advocate for therapy. I am an advocate for not being a ticking time bomb and not letting your emotions bubble over into the point where you're going to explode.
That part.
Everybody should be able to express themselves, whether it be through therapy, through writing, journaling, music, however you need to get it off your chest. It should be getting off your chest. Like, you should not be holding all of that in.
No, I agree. No, you definitely need to let that shit out.
Mine is definitely through TikToks and therapy. That's how I've been able to not hold it all in and to be able to still walk with my head held high regardless of whatever happened the day before.
Yeah.
So
I don't do a lot of you do a lot of the dancing TikToks. I do the voiceover ones. But I don't go to therapy. Not that I don't want to, I just don't. But I found that podcasting for me is definitely helping, like with the anxiety.
And like I said, everybody
so.
has their vice. Yeah, everybody has their vice. It doesn't have to be where because you're told that you should go to therapy, everybody has to go. Therapy is not for everybody. Point blank, period.
Oh, no.
Therapy is not for everyone. And I originally started it, and it ended up turning into something different. So when I originally started therapy, it was for grief. And how to learning how to cope with, which I will say to this day, that shit don't never get easier. It might get better, but the shit would never get easier.
No.
But learning how to cope with certain things and dealing with certain things. And that's where it started. Took some time off, was like, okay, I feel like I'm getting to a better place. And then other things in life started happening to where I end up getting back into it. But again, I say therapy is not for everybody. You have to find the right therapist. So you can go through 15 people until you find that right one that feels like home, like your safe space. And that's how therapy should be.
No,
not
I
just
agree.
going to talk to random people in there. How does that make you feel? Don't ask me that shit.
Bitch, I don't know. That's why I'm here.
You're supposed to help me figure that out. You're supposed to help me figure that out, okay? That is like the worst question you could ask to somebody who's spiraling. I've had that happen, and that's why that person is no longer my therapist. That is the worst person that you can ask somebody who is spiraling, is how does that make you feel? Because clearly I'm telling you
like shit.
How I feel about a certain situation, and you're asking me what I just told you.
So crazy.
That shows me that you weren't listening.
Amen to that.
So therapy isn't for everybody, but just know that you can get through it however you need to get through it.
Yeah. I feel like you got to go through like relationships, until you find that perfect one. Because I feel like different therapists
trial and error.
Literally. Because
trial and error, and that's just like a job.
Yeah. We could talk about that shit all day. These jobs, these wonderful jobs.
It's all a work in progress and all a trial and error phase. I will say that.
Amen. Hopefully the error part is over soon.
Absolutely.
I do feel like, though, we need to be a little bit better at trusting ourselves to fully show up for ourselves in the most unapologetic way. I don't know about you, but I always say I'm sorry. Because I feel like
absolutely.
Like,
and that's another thing. I feel like
I apologize to you 100 times because I'm just like, I'm so sorry for inconveniencing your time.
And that's the realness in it. Being able to apologize. There are people, like I said, that feel like they may have done no wrong and that they can't say sorry or they can't apologize about certain things. Or it's the way that they say it. I'm sorry you felt that way. I'm sorry that no. It should be just I'm sorry. It should never be I'm sorry, but with a but. That's not an apology to me.
No.
That's not an apology. And that's what makes our friendship real, because we can say I'm sorry to each other if we feel like we're doing this, that, and the third. But some people don't have the balls to do that. And it's another thing that overthinking ties into, because then you're like, okay, well, did I do something wrong? When in actuality, it's just the other person not apologizing or not being sympathetic for what they've done. It's not fair.
True.
It's not.
No, it's unfair.
It's toxic.
Yes, we're moving on from that in 2025. At least we should be. I think we should.
Our peace at all costs.
I think we should leave ourselves a little love note on this episode. What do you think? To our overthinking selves. You want me to go first?
You want to go first?
Sure.
Okay.
I was going to say dear brain, but that sounds stupid. Dear Jessica, dear Gina. It's like my Dear John letter. You don't have to earn peace. Right? You're allowed to rest. Everything doesn't need a deeper meaning. Sometimes things just what they are. Thank you.
So, if I had to write one, plie, no. If I had to write one for myself, I would say, Dear Marissa, you don't need to be the fixer of all things in order to feel worthy. You are not responsible for everybody's comfort. You are allowed to breathe, and you are allowed to be you.
That part. I like that. That's pretty. Overthinking is not going to be our identity, but unfortunately, it's just one of our habits. Hopefully, one that we can break one thought at a time.
So listen, people,
Yes.
if you're out there and you're spiraling, just remember, you ain't doing that shit alone.
Hell
We're
no.
spiraling with you. You are not crazy and you are not too much. Your feelings are valid.
Yes, no matter what they say. If you feel like this episode hit home, please share it with somebody who's been stuck in their head for a little too long. You might just reminded them that they're not broken and they're human.
Not only that, overthinking is another form of anxiety. It's
Girl,
okay not
yes.
to be okay.
Hashtag.
But until next time, trust yourself just a little bit more. Be yourself just a little bit more. Bye.
See ya.